That's a good
There
visual
we
there.
go. There we go. Boom.
Uh,
Okay, got it. Got it.
Mike, introduce the brothers, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody for jumping in on the mic. An amazing show. Got brother Shed in the house doing
yo,
this thing.
yo.
Welcome.
Hold up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Got brother Shed in the house doing this thing. Brother, welcome, welcome, welcome. And then we got brother Great in there checking in. I see he's behind that face mountain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. I tell you, this this March Madness has come down to 14, brothers.
Yeah.
Four.
Yeah, they come down to 14. It's been some interesting games.
Yeah.
I ain't been able to watch the games. Being that I was down for a few weeks there, been trying to catch up on all my whatnots.
Right. There you go. There you go.
So, but I've been recording them so I can go back and watch.
There you
They,
go, brother. There you
yeah,
go.
it's been some bad games.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Do
no
you
doubt.
have a favorite, Shed?
Well, I like to see the competitiveness, and I see, even when I went back and watched Florida, Florida was playing, and they were shooting, boy, they were missing a lot of shots. I can't think of the team they were playing, but they still wind up pulling it off. I say them cats on Florida is good enough that they still was able to pull that game. I don't know if who it was it against Baylor or who it was right now,
Can't
Purdue,
remember.
I believe. But one of them games I was watching, and I
Uh-huh.
see, and they were getting some shots off,
Was
and
it, was it Texas Tech?
might have Texas Tech. Texas
Yeah.
Tech. Yeah.
I was looking at that game and they were I wasn't really watching it, but they were down by what 8? They were down
Yeah.
by a lot and they got back in the game, but they actually were down by 9 with 2:51 to go.
Yeah.
And they are winning by 5.
Right.
They did an incredible turnaround last
They
minute.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it's gonna be interesting when it's down to the
Yes.
wire now, because what you got Duke and
Duke.
who they got
either Duke, Florida,
Duke,
Duke,
Florida.
Auburn,
Houston
Auburn.
and Houston.
and Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
Yeah.
So I think from what I'm hearing, Duke is kind of considered favorite. Although I'm a little confused because when the tournament started, people said Auburn's the number 1 seed. A lot of people thought Florida would win it, but then now I'm hearing after one game they were saying Duke should win it. So I didn't
Yeah.
know. I don't know why Duke wasn't seeded high if that's the case. But
Yeah, they I think, being that Duke was still like holding on, and being that Cooper Flag was out, and being that he's back, I guess they looking at, I'm assuming that they can go all the way. But
they say they have 3 lottery picks on their team.
yeah.
Well, that
3
Duke
lottery
team,
picks.
yeah.
Yeah.
They say that Cooper Flag, man. And look, don't let San Antonio fool around and get it, man. That's just unfair. But what they already got, man, do you know that will set them up for the next 10 years?
3 lottery picks. So the lottery pick is what, the top 7 or top 8 or something?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. So if you got 3 on one college team, man, shoot.
Yeah. Somebody else had all those lottery picks. I think it was Kentucky one year.
Yeah.
It had like the top like players in the draft. And somebody wasn't even a starter. He came out the bench. I can't remember what team that was. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, this thing's gonna be interesting, man. This weekend we're gonna be locked in, and just changing gears a little bit. Your girl Juju got player of the year in women's college basketball.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I ain't been able to watch. I ain't caught up with nothing. I say, man, they put a new roof on. They was here today putting the roof on, and yeah, here at the house.
Okay.
They started 7:30 this morning. 5:00. They was out of here.
Wait. You probably got some of our Brown brothers from Mexico.
Them and the Amigos.
I told you they don't play around.
Oh
Don't play
man,
around, bro.
I said, man, they told me they were gonna do it all in one day. I said, okay, I'm gonna see this.
They don't play, bro.
Boy, look at him.
Yeah.
Boy, they stripped it down. They had a couple of little bad spots. They cut all the bad spots out.
Yeah.
And man, they tagged that rascal, boy. Look at him. They were getting down. I mean, it ain't a strip of paper out there nowhere to be found on the ground.
Do me a favor, man. Later on, can you give me the information? I'm gonna have a roofer on my need to do.
Oh man, they and Georgia Best Roofer.
Okay.
That's the name of them. Georgia Best Roofer.
Okay.
And the dude name is Juan. I'll try to send you his information.
Do that, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I like when they roll like that.
Yeah, it gave us a good deal.
Okay. I definitely talk to him. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, is Mr. Broom still on the line?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I think you were the only one who picked Emmitt Smith. Even Doc, who lives in Dallas, who is from Florida. Is Doc from Florida, Mike?
No, he's from the DC area, but he went to school in Florida.
But he been in his mom, and are they in Florida? Or is it just
his brother lives down there.
Just his brother. Okay.
Down there.
All right.
Yeah.
You are the only one. We didn't have a whole lot of people weigh in, but you were the only one who picked Emmitt, I think.
No, you didn't read it right. You misread something.
Who else picked him? You did pick him as the best between those two.
No, I
thought he was underrated.
No, I said that. I said if I had to pick one, I would go with Walter Payton.
Okay, all right. I stand corrected.
But I do think people look at Emmitt's style, and he don't get credit for. He's under. Maybe it's because they played for Dallas. Emmitt is, like I said, like second all-time leading rusher in Florida football rushing history, 3-time SEC first team, SEC Player of the Year. Somebody, Elton has what's that word when you like things in the past? North. What's that word? What's that word when people a likeness for the past things? But nostalgic. Nostalgic. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nostalgic. Everyone's always gonna pick the older guys. That's just automatic. Okay. Mm-hmm. He probably think the Steelers could beat the Eagles if you ask him. But I mean, my point was that Emmy's all-time leading rusher, second in the league in touchdowns. They don't give that stuff away, man. That's some serious stuff. But I think I say both of them are great. If I had to pick one, I'd go slightly edge towards Walter, but I could change my mind in a couple of months. But Emmitt, just his style is not super exciting. That's why he loses points. But as far as efficiency, hell, he's got the most yards. All the guys in this world, all the human beings on this planet, who's the leading rusher?
You make some good points, Brother Shed. Yeah. What is your comment?
Only Jerry Rice and touchdowns. That says a lot.
Emmitt is my boy. I know him, and and I would have picked based on the style of run and play. I would have picked Walter. I definitely would have picked Walter, but that's my boy. Emmitt, like Art said, and for his character and the whole 9 yards. I mean, you can't beat the two guys together because they both, for their character and the way they handled themselves was wonderful. Yeah,
So the bottom line is,
I'd have picked Walter based on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Brother Mike.
It would have been close, but I would have went with Walter. If you just had one game, okay. Yeah. And you got to get that ball like you made that analogy with the big boys with Earl Campbell and Derrick Henry. If you just got one game and you got to get that yardage, and it's let's say 3rd and 5 or long yardage, you got a series. Who's gonna get you in that series? Who's most likely to get you that first down? I think Walter more of a threat. With his speed and stuff, and he just his style. But you can't go wrong with either one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Too though. But when you out there to win, and Emmitt won. Okay, and you out there, one thing I think durability. That's why both of them are good. Okay,
Yeah.
but I still think Emmett does it. But the bottom line is he must have been consistent. They must have been moving the chain, and he was the
Oh, yeah.
main guy on the team. Okay, and they were successful. So you could make a case that that's what you're out there for. It ain't about prettiness and even Earl
Yeah.
Campbell running over people. You out there to move the chains on a consistent basis, and he did that. But
Yeah.
again, but both of them are great. You're talking to practically 10 guys.
All right.
Mhm.
Let me
Let me get my say in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I looked at the film, Emmett has a lot of accolades. Definitely does. And he won some Super Bowls. When I looked at the film, and that may just been looking at the film, when Emmett had some humongous holes. For a while, all he had to do was run through them. But when he got through them, he had some nice moves. He could slip and slide. He had deceptive speed, but he had humongous holes. Walter Payton did whatever it took. He ran over folk. He ran around folk. He dived. Did you see him dive on his head? But one thing about Walter, when he did play in the Super Bowl, I have to look at his numbers. I don't think they were that well. Everybody was mad because they let Refrigerator Perry get the touchdown instead of Walter Payton getting the touchdown. But I would have definitely picked Mr. Payton.
Yeah. I mean, only reason I picked him because his yardage, it wasn't enough separation in the yardage.
Right.
I mean, Emmett ended with 18,000. I think Peyton was 16. It wasn't enough separation. Peyton, he was explosive back. He had that combination of stuff. And I'm
tough
really,
too.
I think he's a lot closer than you. But but you out there, it's like they say, well, show me the numbers.
He had humongous holes, though. Did you see the holes that he had?
Yeah. He had some good holes for sure.
If we wasn't turtle slow, we could run through them holes, man. But look, he made moves when he got out there. He made people miss when he got out there in the open, but he had humongous holes to run through. He didn't really have to break through no lines.
This is and that's a good analogy. Because that was what I was going to ask this question. Who had the best offensive line? If you look, because that's going to tell the story. Because I'm looking at something right now, and I just pulled this up, and my question was this: who had the most yaks, yard after contacts? And from looking at this, the analysis and the eye test and the conclusion, while no official stat confirmed it, Walter Payton is widely regarded as having more yards after contact than Emmitt Smith due to his running style. Okay. So I just pulled that up a little while ago because I was just curious about that. Yeah.
Art brought some good stats too. I mean, Emmitt deserves, all of these guys deserve their accolades.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're in the top, 5% of athletes in the world. All right. Yeah. So we take nothing from Emmitt Smith. He was a wonderful back.
Oh, man.
If I had like Mike said, when it's at the end, when I had to pick between Derrick Henry and Earl Campbell, if I had one game to win, I would pick Earl Campbell. This when I would pick Sweetness,
Yeah,
last one we'll go ahead, Art. I'm sorry. Then we'll do.
I judged it by careers, because I know Ernie said something about who had the most highest yardage in one game, and
we had no criteria.
But I go by careers. Like if I had to have somebody on my team, and take me through a 10, 12-year period, okay, then who gonna give me the most success over that long period of time? Okay, because that's even with Tom Brady, it's about longevity, durability, and all those things. Okay,
but Walter Payton had a long career also, didn't he?
I did. Like I said on the Payton thing, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, it's about
that's your criteria, and we didn't define any criteria. Just what you felt was right.
If you did some short periods of times, you could put a lot of different running backs in there. Okay, you know what I mean? If you just did a 1-2 year,
you could look at Gale Sayers. He had a short period. I'm gonna wait to go with one of my favorites of all time. But let's do the last one for next week. Let's do O.J. Simpson versus Barry Sanders, and then y'all just throw out your top 10 or whatever. O.J. versus Barry Sanders.
The juice.
In that Edwin put out a video and it had the top what 4 or 5. It did not have OJ Simpson in it. I could not understand.
I was shocked. OJ
I
wasn't
could
in there.
not understand that.
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Errol, OJ Miller, okay, but and the Elwin thing, knowing him, it probably was something that didn't even consider the latter running
Yeah,
back.
he just had he had both Emmett Smith and Sweetness in there. Yeah, Walter Payton in there.
Yeah.
But it just amazed me that particular film, whether Edwin Miller or not, that particular film did not have OJ in there. I could not understand. It had Barry Sanders in there.
Yeah, and the first thing I say, well, is are they blackballing OJ because of what took place?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, OJ was probably my favorite back of all time. But if you go by the career, so that's why you have to define it. To me, if you say at their best, okay, at their best, absolute best for a year or two, then OJ had to be in there. His career wasn't as good as the other guys. They started out his first 2-3 years. He wasn't even running the ball much. The coaches used him as a decoy. He was playing a little flanker and this and that. But we know at his peak years, he was the shit.
Well, hey, include two backs in your ratings. I mean, include the best at his peak and the best career if you want to. I mean, mine is if I had to win a game, who would I want? Plus, I think the things that he did, man, to rush over 2,000 yards in 14 games in the snow, rush over
in
200
the snow.
yards.
Yeah.
I remember coming down and beating the Falcons at Fulton County Stadium in the snow.
Yeah.
I remember one time when OJ was in college. I think Notre Dame played. They held OJ to about 95 yards. They put a whole. Remember that magazine, Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I used to get that every week.
They didn't hold him to no 65 yards, no 50. They held him to about 95 or right around 100, and they put an article out. And it was the head cover. The day they stopped OJ, I mean, it won a national magazine cover.
Wow.
So somebody held you to 95 yards or something.
Yeah.
Like that. The juice.
I used to get those magazines, cut the cover out. The juice is loose. I remember that.
Hey man, y'all remember? We talked about being celebrated. OJ he was one of the first black guys running through Hertz, doing commercials.
Oh, yeah. Major sponsorship.
Yeah. I remember he was in that movie about the moon landing.
Yeah.
He was
a lot of guys,
Monday Night Football analyst.
Yes, Monday Night Football.
I mean, man, look.
I didn't think about that.
He had the world, man.
He was right. Was he with Howard? I think
he
was. He took Dandy Dunn's place, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. He took Dandy Dunn's place. He was the second up. I think. I could be wrong.
He was. That. Yeah. He was right, man. Look, he had the world.
OJ was a darling of Hollywood. He's out there in LA,
Yeah. That mistake messed him up.
Hey. Yeah. Well, whatever happened with that, but either way, we just gonna go on football, okay? Yeah. Not on personal things, on football. But y'all think about that, and we'll put some film out there, and then y'all list your top 10. I wish I had seen Jim Brown, but only thing I ever saw of Jim Brown was footage on YouTube. I never watched a game where Jim Brown played. Mm-hmm. First thing I saw of Jim Brown was that movie with him and Raquel Welch was getting it on,
My thing with Jim Brown and the guys way back there, he played in the late 50s to early 60s, okay?
Right.
Everybody was small. He was big. He was almost like Wilt Chamberlain stood out. Okay, I'm not sure. Jim Brown's he's like a good. I'm not sure what he did then would work now against these athletes of the day. Because he ran tall. He was bigger than most of the defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Okay. And that wouldn't be the case today. I can't say for a fact. Okay, but it's hard for me to project the same things. Everybody's just so much bigger than they was. But Jim Brown's one of the biggest people on the field, gentlemen. Okay.
Yeah. But you're right, Art. With the folks with that the defensive linemen and the backs and stuff back there today, Jim probably wouldn't have been able to do what he did
not
today.
That style. I question that style. Would it work? Would it be as effective when you're not?
What do you consider was his style?
But he'd have been a threat for sure because when you look at the kind of powerhouse that Derrick Henry is, you know, he was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So-
too, you don't know too, you know, they played less games, but that may have, you know, Jim Brown had a good stellar career, but if he was playing the extra 3-4 games a year, you know, I don't know. So it's just, I mean, you know, it's not, you know, 17 game season is a lot more wear and tear than a 12. I don't know what
Yeah.
he playing about 12.
From
You know,
what I saw of him on film, he had very good mobility. He had really good speed. I don't know whether it was top of the line speed, but he had really good speed. And as you say, he was a powerful man.
Mhm.
You know, he had a lot of tools. So I don't know with if he trained like modern guys train, he kind of would have been almost like a LeBron type guy, man. To me,
Yeah.
I mean, as an athlete.
but what
He
he
played
still,
lacrosse. He played other things too.
Yeah,
so he
sure
was a
did.
very good
Yeah.
athlete. Wilt was also. I think if Wilt had been a young guy when Kareem was young, it would have been nice. You know, he was an old guy when him and Kareem went
Right.
against each other. You know, but to average what he did, yeah. And he was very good. Now his team wasn't as good as the Celtics. In those games that he played against Bill Russell, he had better stats than Bill Russell. His team probably lost more of the times. You know, I don't think he gets his due. I don't know whether he's the best of all time, but I don't think he gets his due.
I think you know, it's a couple of categories. How did they rate against the era, and how were they? I could, Chamberlain. Let's face it, though, guys. Chamberlain, as far as the offensive skill set he presented, it's
Who?
not. He didn't have much with the offensive tools at all, did he? Really,
Who?
Chamberlain.
Wilt
mean,
Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Man, did you hear about the time he had retired? He was at UCLA. They had pickup games there. Magic Johnson had a pickup game. And some reason Wilt got mad about something. Magic he blocked the shot, and Magic tried to call game and a foul, and it wasn't really. And they said Wilt blocked every shot after that, man.
But I mean,
I think his team
though,
won, but that was pickup. But I don't know. I wasn't there, so from what I read and what I see, I don't think we give him his due.
No, I think he gets credit. I mean, but he played his later years. He wasn't that great offense his later years, but you know,
No, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
He didn't. But I'm saying what he presented, he didn't shoot. He mostly was a dunker and pretty underneath the, you know.
Oh, he had some moves. I don't know him at right offhand, but I don't want to put him.
I saw him
I
when he
think
was
you're selling him
32,
short.
33, when the Lakers won that 33 year in a row, that
He was old.
Huh?
Wilt was old, man.
But I mean, but Wilt,
And old when big guys go, they but he was old then. But to average 100 points, and then I think he led the league in assists and all kind of stuff over the years. You know, if you can give Russell all that credit, why can you not give Chamberlain that credit?
I mean, Bill Russell at 6'9", 230 pounds. I'm sorry, guys, or what era or whatever, he would not have been as effective in this era. Okay. That's about this. I'm sorry. They didn't have the dunkers. He didn't have to contend with the dunkers. And then back then, all the teams kept the state players. Nobody could go free agent. Okay. Bill Russell didn't. I mean, he was a great player, but can you imagine him trying to guard Shaq and stuff?
Well, his thing was defense. What's the guy from Detroit who played defense in the middle when they won the last championships? Not the Isaiah Thomas and
the guy with the Wallace.
Yeah, Ben Wallace was only like what 6'8", 6'9". He wasn't very tall.
He was 6'9", but
Warriors won with some
he was a good defensive
short
player.
guys.
Yeah, but he was bigger than Russell. But I'm just saying Russell. But that's the thing. You do a dominance over your era, then I think that's the
Boston won with Dave Cowens. Dave Cowens was not a big tall guy. You remember him, Mike?
Yeah, 6'9", but he was tough.
But it's a bigger league now. But it's a bigger league. Yeah, Collins was a little bit undersized, but people are big. Now.
Right.
And Collins, they let him go. He could wrestle with Jabbar and stuff, but Boston had a lot of. Boston, free agency is not going to change the game, too, guys. If you had the best team back then, you kept the best team. You kept one of the best teams because you kept your players. You know what I mean? You have to right now, man, teams, guys jumping from team to team and shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, we're just talking about guys' size because the thing started when we were talking about Russell and his size, and you were saying if he was in today's thing, but we had some players who were closer to today, like Cowens and what had Golden State had, So I don't know, man. Good, and the guy in Detroit that came. How long ago was that? About a decade, maybe a little over a decade ago. Ben Wallace.
Yeah. No, maybe more than a decade.
You think so?
Ben Wallace.
Yeah. But do you remember they have been going small ball over the last few years, but everybody says they're going back to a trend of having big centers, which I would love for the Hawks to get. We have a 6'8" center and a 6'0" or 6'1" guard and a 6'8" power forward. I mean, even if you're gonna start those guys, you need some tall guys, man. You need some big guys on that team.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and hopefully your big guys can help you on the boards, because sometimes I've even seen smaller guys get to the boards a lot quicker than the big guys because the big guys are too slew-footed.
Yeah. Now Dennis Rodman is an outlier. He's the greatest of all time at that.
Right.
But he was 6'8", right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody say when Dennis Rodman came to some team, he was just sit back and they're like, "What you doing, man?" And he just sit back and he just watched the spin of the ball. And he was just watching the spin of the ball. And somebody said, "Man, what you doing?" He said, "I'm studying." And he was just watching the spin of the ball because he was learning how the ball spent. It would tell you how it's going to come off the backboard if somebody shot it. And that's how he became a great rebounder. Yeah. I was like,
they
wow.
say Rodman was one of those guys. He didn't. I think those guys had that growth spurt in 1 year. I think Rodman was one of those guys. He wasn't. He was barely 6 feet tall, man, when he got in high school. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was one of those. Him and Scottie Pippen, I heard. Yeah.
Grew about 5-6 inches in 1 year or something crazy. 10th, 11th, he grew about 6 inches in 1 year or some shit, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever see this video where Rodman was just a menace, man? Even with guys like Shaq just all over him. They was tussling with each other. I mean, David Robinson, everybody. It was like a highlight of Robinson just being a menace all over these guys who were even bigger than him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was still getting
he
them
put that
rebounds.
cover on you, man. Look, that's one thing about them cats, boy. When they cover you, that Detroit that team right there, boy, they play some. They were, like you said, they were a menace.
Yeah.
From Mahorn to Rodman to they were a menace, man.
John Sally was never a great player, but John Sally fit on that team, didn't he? And he fit in LA.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they had that go get it, bro. Yeah. They like, look, we coming at you. You ain't getting that cheap when you play again. Look, you gonna know you played them.
Well, yeah, they people. When I get in conversations, people talking about the day players versus last year, they say, look up Detroit. Detroit wasn't the lead. Detroit was outliers. Okay, they weren't the whole league. Matter of fact, everybody hated Detroit. They hated the way he beat around Michael Jordan. They weren't representative of the NBA. They were the bully team because with Mahorn and Lambeer, those guys, those weren't guys. And those two guys, anybody want to run at. You know what I mean? They could bully you and they still beat. They could bully and beat you up too. I mean,
yeah.
And then they had the other guys on there, Isaiah Thomas. They had some bad.
And Dumars, Jordan credits Dumars as being one of the best against him defensively. Yeah. So that was a defensive team. Yeah. So he credits Dumars. That's something, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, man, they play around.
But at one time the Hawks were neck and neck with Detroit. You remember that, Mike? And then I think the Concat thing probably because Detroit gave Concat a contract and the Hawks matched it, and he was grossly overpaid. So
Right.
baby, they just duped him. They should have just let him have it, man. He was sorry. John Concat, big seven
Yeah,
foot dude.
sure it is.
Yeah.
But just to
Hey,
show you how much the game has changed, who's that Caucasian guy that played for the white guy who played for the Hawks that was a good 3-point shooter, but they had to set picks for him and rings and all that. Who was that guy?
You talking about the assistant general manager, Cal Corver?
Yeah, I think that was the one. Yeah.
He's a record
Yeah.
setting
Now,
3-point guy. Yeah.
yeah, 3-point. Now you got to be able, and now these guys they can make their own shot off the dribble, man. So you know what I mean,
Right.
you could be, but that shows. But back then they just work the guy open
That
and
wasn't
stuff.
that long ago though. That was the Paul Millsap years, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't that long ago.
That was Coach Bud.
You got guys now to fly that thing almost from center court, man. I mean,
oh no, they got that in practice now. Back then, you shoot something like that in practice, man. Sit down, boy. Now,
yeah.
Some people complain about that. Some people are saying that I think I have heard this. I need to verify that the ratings for the NBA are going down, and a lot of people blame that on it being more just 3-point.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't. It's a lot of reasons for it. You don't know the guys when they come out of college. You know what I'm saying? They have no. Most of them, the good players are one year in college. Then you got a lot of foreign guys, so a lot of that plays into it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they do no resume building in college because most of them one and done. Now maybe with this NIL, they might hang in there. You know what I mean? But most of these guys, when the NFL, NBA had a draft, you really know most of the players unless you're really doing your homework.
Nope. You're right.
Definitely for the NBA, I don't.
NBA,
That's one. Y'all were talking March Madness. I almost have, I almost have no interest in March Madness anymore because I don't know the players. But I have said this before. I'm glad they had a chance to make their money anytime the NBA would draft them. I mean, you got that in tennis, you got that in golf. So I'm glad that they will have a chance to make their money. But on the flip side, for me, I don't know the players anymore. So
yeah, it's tough when you don't really know the players, and
right.
and by the time you really get to know players, whether they female or male, and being that they do have those deals now, hey, they moving on to different teams by the time you really get acclimated to them. Say, okay, let me see what Paul gonna do. Let me see what John gonna do. You get over there, say, dang, they moving on somewhere else. I'm like, dang.
Yep.
I think Mike mentioned it at one point, say, hopefully they get to the point with these NIL deals, say, okay, we got at least get these folks where they can at least stay for at least 2 years or 3 years in one place or somewhere. I mean, because they bouncing around like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the girl from I was watching yesterday, one of Notre Dame females is getting and put herself up out there in the transfer portal.
Okay.
And she's she's a good guard for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
So be real interesting.
Yeah. I guess for me, I'm glad they can transfer simply because for all of these years, college sports have made money on the backs of these players.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you've had players like the wide receiver from Georgia, other players, because they sold one of the jerseys that had their name on it.
Right.
Yeah. Made a little bit of money. That happened to Todd Gurley also. What's the receiver that went to Cincinnati when Julio came out? That guy. He got some fines against that.
Yeah.
I mean, they sold one, I don't know whatever, probably signed the jersey or whatever, made some money. They got fined heavily for that. But the college football made billions of dollars probably off of them over the years. Coaches leave whenever they wanted to, but now they bitching about players leaving. I don't know. But I know it disrupts the game, but don't you think it disrupts a kid when you sat in his living room, told him you was gonna be there, and this and that, and then you was gone and made some more millions.
Yeah.
That's just
right,
the way I
bro.
see it, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm with you on that. I call it the hokey dokey. How you gonna tell me and try to make me feel like I'm supposed to be all good? Oh, you gonna get a 4-year scholarship? Really? Come on, man. And then what folks don't know is that every year they gotta qualify for the scholarship, and then the
Yes,
scholarship
they can
don't cover
revoke.
everything.
Yeah.
It don't cover books and stuff. Come on, dude. You out here,
Yeah.
you put millions of dollars in the pockets and then billions on these TV contracts, okay? And you getting a scholarship. Come on, bro. That
And
ain't
unlike
right.
other students, they could not work.
Yeah, can't work.
All right.
Right.
You are our property. We gonna make money off you. We got free labor, but we gonna give you a scholarship. Well, I ain't gonna graduate anyway, so I want the money.
Maybe they can find a way to make it work, man. But I'm glad the kids can get.
I'm glad they getting it, bro.
Yeah, I am too.
Find a way to make it work.
And not to be ugly, but they definitely need to send some of it down to the HBCU.
Oh, dog.
Hey,
nice. Shed, let me tell you something. Shed, can I tell you something? Bro, the NCAA college football makes enough money with these deals. ESPN, ABC, all of them make enough money. They sign these billion-dollar contracts, okay? They make enough money that they could filter all that money even down to the HBCU. It wouldn't hurt them a bit.
Right.
Not a bit. You ain't gonna tell me you ain't got it. You know, back in the day, you ain't somebody for, bro, I ain't got it. Bro, y'all got it. Y'all got it. You know, just filter down.
Yeah.
Man, let me put it. Y'all keep that. I'm gonna pull up this information in a little while. I'm gonna tell you how much money they get out of these contracts. I'm gonna pull this up while y'all talking.
What contract, Mike?
Of these college football. How much college football makes off these TV contracts. I'm gonna pull it up. Y'all gonna talk. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna have it for you in a little bit.
All right, go on.
Yeah.
Anybody caught the Braves? I know they down 7
tonight.
No, I'm
they're down 7
okay.
games. Yeah,
7 games.
They 0-7. Yes.
They haven't won in the. I do know they scored 5 runs one night because they went like about 3-4 game period. They only scored like 2 runs or stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, they scored. I think they scored 5 last night, and they lost in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, it's good to see some offense because I know they had went through I think they went like 20, 21, 22 innings without scoring a run at one point, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they scored like 1 run. Yes.
No, I mean they went like 19, 20 consecutively because they got shut out.
Yeah.
They might have went. Yeah, but they went like they had like a 19, 20 inning streak, I think, without scoring 1 run, I believe.
Yep, it could be.
And then they're bad. And then they, of course, that player got the suspended for 6 months or something.
Oh man, yeah. I think he didn't do back until when? July, June.
Yeah, and so Acuna still out. So I don't know if he's ever going to be an all-time great, man, because he's really injury prone, though. You know what I'm saying?
I would like. Yeah, he's had a couple of bad injuries. Let's hope.
At a young age too.
Still do a thing. Yeah, that's true. I mean, at his best, he's the best player in the in baseball. I mean, unless you count what happened in last year's playoffs, the last one. But he's a phenomenal talent. What you say, Mike?
They say he's looking good to people who they've not released him yet. But I'm reading reports saying that, man, he's hitting that ball and he's looking real good.
I heard you say he's going to cut down on his steals and
stuff.
Yeah,
I was about to say, do you want him to try to steal now? Or you just like, hey, let's get on base and play good defense for us.
Right.
And let me get y'all this real quick, okay? Just put this up, so y'all know. Don't let them tell you they ain't got it. All right. Television networks invest substantial amounts in broadcasting college football, securing media rights deals with various conferences. Let me get a breakdown. Big Ten Conference deal in August 2022. The Big Ten finalized a 7-year media rights agreement with Fox, CBS, and NBC, valued at over $7 billion. averaging approximately $1 billion annually. Let's go down to the SEC, Southeastern Conference. Starting in 2024, the SEC entered a 10-year agreement with ESPN and ABC, value approximately $3 billion, equating to $300 million per year. They got it. They got it. Man, look, I'm telling you, bro. That's why these colleges, man, look, bro, I ain't mad, but Deion get ready to sign a new deal with Colorado. So they got it because see, they bring in notoriety, and you gotta trickle some of this money down to these young people. You gotta trickle it down to the HBCUs. You got to. If you just take all this money and stuff it in your pocket, and the people who making this money for you, they ain't eating, they ain't getting fed. Come on, that ain't right.
Yeah.
When they originally did this, I was hoping that all the football players could make, money.
Yeah.
And then I could see if somebody had, they sold T-shirts with a particular player, that he get a substantial percentage of that. I just hope in college, and don't get me wrong, they need to get some of that money out. I just hope it ain't like just the top players on each team, the ones getting all the money. I mean,
right.
All right, that's a good point. That's
very good point.
My model is this: everybody gets something. You got enough money to do that, and then the top players, they gonna get the big NIL deals. But if you if you want to practice every day, they got enough. Look, dog, billions. You got enough to trickle this thing down that every college player in Division I, Division II, they can get something.
Yeah, even the water boy.
Even the water boy. They get something. Come on. You ain't gonna tell me you ain't got it. You got it.
Much as the water boy get ran over, he need to get something too.
Hey, he be riding around in the Mercedes, man.
But it's funny y'all say that. Let me tell y'all something. McNeese State, the basketball team. All right, show you how this thing working, and I'll tell you about something later on. I ain't gonna tell y'all about that. But McNeese State, their mascot got an NIL deal.
What?
Yes, sir. I got paid, bro.
All right.
I'll tell y'all about something later on. Yeah. And so this thing, I sit back and watch this stuff. I'm like, oh man, that's big, bro. NIL deal. The mascot, I got paid. He making big money now. It's out here, bro. I tell people, don't sleep. Opportunity right be in front of you. Like, boom, there it is.
Wow.
But yeah,
wow,
this is good. But yeah, I'm with you guys. Art, Shed, Alfonso Gray. These young people, they put the sweat equity in. They out there fighting. They out there taking the hits. They out there putting the practice time in. They out there going through these drills. Man, when you see practices, man, I don't know if you guys ever went to a practice to watch basketball or football lately. But if you go to it, bro, that thing is, bro, it ain't no joke, man. It's like these guys are trained, dude. This is work, man. It ain't easy. Them cats, man, the drills they be going through. I'm like, boy. I mean, I sat back and I watched some of this stuff. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Man, in all sports, they're taking these kids younger and younger and training them and and.
Yeah.
By the time they get old, either they burnt out or they old enough or they're great. You know what I mean? Some of them.
One of the things that I love, I know I played sports in school. I played football as well as basketball till Pop had his own business until Pop say you got to narrow it down to one sport. You ain't playing both of them.
Right.
You got to work. You got to help me. And so he say, now if you're gonna do football, do football. If you ain't gonna do then you're gonna do basketball or track or what say, but you got to cut it. You got because I was football, basketball, and swimming.
Right.
And was
right.
trying
you
to
was
get
a swimmer,
on track.
man.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I used to dive, man. We had high diving boards back then.
Hey, that's something we didn't know. Too bad did you have any footage? You got any footage from back in that day?
Man, ain't nobody was getting us.
Hey man, they might have had you on reel to reel, boy.
You
We
know,
got
Yeah, that
little,
reel
they
to
we
had
reel
got
them
back
little
in
little,
the day,
shed.
boy.
man, you
Got
know,
that big reel to reel that day, boy.
I was just telling Mom the other day. I said, Mom, I say, anybody got a picture of my old house? I say, because I was trying to show the missus a picture of my
Yeah.
old house back in
Uh-huh.
Florida.
Right.
I say, how come I don't have a picture of my darn own house? I say,
Okay.
how everybody else wind up with pictures? I don't have not a one.
Hey,
Right,
man.
right.
You blaming your mama now, see?
Well, you
You
know,
ain't
they
got
the
no
one who
picture
was
now.
doing all, you know, people be doing all the snapping and you wind up and don't get
Hey,
nothing.
mama, you let me down. I ain't
Right.
got no picture of my.
But
Hey,
the
she
thing
gon-
is,
I love it.
when folks was getting I played good
Right.
basketball, and I
Wow.
was invited to basketball camp almost every year,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I never got to go.
Oh man.
I
Wow.
never
Okay.
got to
Wow.
go because Dad said, "No, you got to work. You
Yeah.
got to work."
I
And I
got
never
you.
forget, right here in Georgia one year,
Right.
man, Mom say, I don't understand how come nobody never came to talk to you. Ain't nobody never. I said, Mama, what you talking about? I said, Mama, I was invited to camp. I was invited to all kind of stuff. I say, Stetson University,
Right.
all these different people was coming and wanted me to come do stuff. She said, well, how come? I say, you told me per se, you got to go to your daddy. And if daddy say I can do whatever, then it's okay. She said, you went to your daddy and you had opportunities and he didn't let you go. I said, Daddy said I had to work. This was right
Wow.
here one year, man, in my living room, right here. So she ran over there and jumped on that joker boy. She was whooping him. You mean to tell me he had opportunities and you wouldn't let him do it? I needed
Hey
him
Wow.
to
man,
work.
your
I
mama
needed-
sound like she take that whoop to you, boy.
Oh boy, she put it on it.
All
She
right.
put it on it. But
Hey,
man,
man.
the thing is anytime when you look at where these folks get an opportunity to go to camp
Yeah.
and get this extra training, it was a guy went to school with me, man, Carlton Bird. We called him Bo Diddley.
Right.
Man, me and Bo Diddley used to be the smallest thing on the outside on the basketball court.
Yeah.
When
That was the
they saw
basketball
us
guy.
coming, they said, okay, y'all got to go. We getting Bo Diddley and Shed. Y'all got
Is
to get
Carlton
off the
Bird the
court.
one that went to Nova? Is that the one that played for Nova?
No, but Bo Diddley didn't never go. He it was a different Carlton Bird. He could have went to
Wow.
the streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Streets got him. Wow.
Hey,
Went to the streets.
this ain't but about 3 minutes. If they'll let us show it, we'll see. Last week we had Foreman Lyle. That was the whole fight. This is the other one that Art talked about that they say was one of the those two are the
Hagler.
toughest too. Can y'all see that?
I
Yeah.
guess, yes.
We see Hagler. Yeah, we see.
Yeah,
Hagler.
this
We
is
see
only like
Barber.
3 minutes, so let's see.
See it for the play.
Can you hear it?
No, it's sitting
Uh-uh.
still right now.
Can you hear it?
No. It's sitting still.
It's sitting still. Okay, they blocking it then.
I'll say they blocked that one on us.
Yeah, if that was one, I'll try this right quick. Let's see. There was this other, the same thing. I always go with the shortest. Can you see that?
It blacked out.
No, they blocked that. Dog, man. They let us look at the George Foreman one. I guess we'll be happy for that, right? But
Yeah.
Wow.
y'all go look at this one, man. Well, I'll put that on the chat. This is the
Yeah, just put it on the chat.
first-
Okay.
This is round one of the Hagler Hearns fight. That they ranked that as one of the greatest rounds of all time. You know,
Wow.
I love watching those old fights. I put the they had a little synopsis of Holyfield Bowl #1. That's when
Oh, yeah?
Holyfield
Oh,
lost
wow.
the title. Holyfield. We was over our boy's house, man, Fernando's house. Mike,
Yeah.
watching
yeah,
that
yeah.
probably.
I remember.
You know,
Yeah.
Fernando had a lot of parties at a lot of fight parties down in his basement.
Always.
Art, did you ever
always.
go into any of those?
I was at either Hills or Troutman's. One of them, I went to a fight party. It may have been Fernando's. It's so long ago.
Yeah, Fernando stayed over there off of Austell Road.
Yeah.
I either Hills or I think I was at one. I know him and Troutman. Yeah, I was at a party.
Who is Troutman?
Eugene Troutman.
Eugene Tremble.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Man, for
He's a
some
big
reason I
guy.
don't remember that dude,
You'll
man.
know him you seeing probably.
Yeah. You know, of course I remember Fernando. Boy, he love Howard though. He worship Mike though. That was
Oh
a
yeah.
boy. Yeah, man. Because you know, Mike was the man with the ladies, so Fernando always liked that.
Yeah, that surprised me when they told me he had passed.
Oh man, Sanders told us, man, and we
Yeah,
didn't know
right over the air here. We're
because
like,
we
what?
kept in touch with him after
Yeah.
work, you know, after IBM, and neither one of us knew. Y'all know his daughter passed away. We don't during the COVID period. I never knew what she died from though, so that broke his heart.
Yeah,
And
that was hard on him.
not too long after that, he passed away. So you knew him, right, Art?
Fernando.
Because he ratted you out of the party, didn't he? When you was on the
Yeah,
ladies.
I know him. I know him too well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy,
I mean, if you'd have heard him, I mean, I looked at Art, I said, come on, Art.
Say you were that shit.
I was right there. I mean, I was right there.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't know how much blood Art could have spilled, man.
Yeah,
I mean, the way Fernando was cutting him up bad. I said, Lord have mercy.
All right, why he cut you up so bad, man?
I didn't see it coming, man. I didn't see it coming.
I mean, he did. He came out of nowhere with it.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
mean,
but that
to
breaks
be
the
honest,
brother
we
code,
all.
man.
I mean, if
And
you'd have
see,
seen
and
the
the thing
brothers
was,
who was
it was-
standing there, we all was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
break
like,
the brother
dog,
code.
man,
you don't do
you
that.
just
man.
don't do this to another brother for
Yeah.
no means.
No.
Hey,
No, you don't
Shan
do
say he was surprised how much blood or shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
serious.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. 'Cause you know, I hadn't been around the crowd, and it was a lady I had never seen before. And I was trying to.
Oh man, and boy, look at him. She was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, old Karen Blake, she started chiming in. you know, some stuff like that.
Hey, all
I
right,
didn't know
been a light
I
that it's
called her
time to
Dave,
move
man.
on. It's like,
Yeah,
let
I
me
didn't
go.
move
Oh
up.
man, that's awful, man.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I mean, after Fernando did what he did, Karen Blakely she added to it.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, she added to it.
Oh, Sanders was there too, right?
Yeah,
I
I
never
think
even
Sanders
showed her
was
much of
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But Sanders the
man.
one who brought it to our attention. You know, I didn't know you were there. I knew Sanders was there.
Oh, I was
you
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
Art,
there.
you had a few people there that you didn't even know was there, probably.
Wow.
coming up the event.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I
Shed
knew the
was
guy.
there.
Yeah, we were all there, man. I was shoot.
That was old boy's funeral, was it?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
his
No, it
wait.
was it was
After
Eugene. It was like a service for him, because he
Okay.
actually died in I don't know what they did with his body, but it was like a
memorial service.
memorial
Right.
service,
Memorial
type thing,
service.
Right.
Wow.
And the dude, what's the
man,
other
I can
guy,
see
the tall
Fernando
guy?
now going to town, man. I'm sorry. I know how he is, man, because he used to mess with me all the time. You know?
Yeah, he did.
You know?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was that was. Whoo.
All right, what did you do? Just stay cool? You ain't say nothing. You just took it and just say
I mean,
Like,
well, you had Sanders was there, and Karen was there, and the other girl was right next to I mean, what
you're
could
like,
I
just
do?
keep
You know
him,
what I mean?
just keep him
Yeah,
moving.
all right. Yeah, all right, talking about he's hit on everything moving and stuff.
Oh man.
Oh man,
And-
how did the girl take it, man? I don't know.
Oh,
I just did it.
Okay, we ain't got to go into the
But
bloody,
hey,
bloody
after that,
details. We don't have to
I
go into
probably
the
have a
bloody
50%
details,
chance
man.
anyway. I just said, I just gave up, man.
yeah. I mean, but before it, I mean, she was listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Right
I
out
mean,
of that,
They were just having a good conversation. You
Having a
leave the
good
man
combo.
alone. You leave the man alone.
And
But I was going, offering the girl a drink, getting the talking,
Right.
this and that.
Yeah. I
And,
mean, the
that was
code is you leave that brother alone, let him do
man,
his
you
thing.
don't never kill another brother. You see him going to work.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Give him the space and let him work.
I guess.
Dude.
Yes, sir, man.
Hey, I'm gonna
Old
show y'all
Fernando.
one little clip since we couldn't get that fight up. Let's see, what's this? You hear me? Oh, I'm gonna send a request. You let me share this, bro,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. I'm gonna share this real quick. Just some I saw. I was like, oh man, this some little inspiration right here. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Okay. Oops. Let's stop. Let's go back. Boom. Yes, sir. Go here. Uh, there. And let's see if I can find it here. Boom. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this little lady right here.
Okay.
Let's see.
I just
Here we
made you
go.
co-host. I'm sure I did that earlier.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Can y'all hear it?
I don't hear nothing.
See
I
it, but
see it.
I don't hear it.
Is that little short? She a box? Wait a minute, little girl. Is that?
Mhm.
Okay.
She getting them in.
Dang.
Wow.
This is boxer size. Okay, I was looking at the little capture there.
Some fast hands.
Is that her dad or a trainer,
I think it's a coach.
a coach? That's sweet.
They say this is boxer size. Who got
Okay.
the twist of cardio boxing for kids? They're not boxing, hitting each other, but they're doing cardio. That look like that'll get the heart rate up.
Okay. Cool. New thing, eh? Hey, anybody just you guys know the draft is coming up in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. They got to show me. I hope they do it. I hope they succeed, but I have no confidence in the Falcons. I mean, how you gonna have a picture of all 32 coaches, and our coach is the only one that don't show up?
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what they said. They said something that he claimed happened, but man, I mean, 31 coaches and our coach don't show up. That sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit, man.
When did that happen?
They talked about it about a week ago on the
I mean-
radio.
Wow.
Maybe a week, anywhere this week or last week, you had a picture taken of all 32 coaches, and our coach did not show up.
Maybe it's a sign he's gonna be gone.
I don't know, man, but man,
Wow.
I mean, the simplest of things. Come on. So
Interesting.
read about it. I mean,
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I was running, so I probably missed it. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all, we 10:02. Anybody got anything for Mike? Take us out. Yay, next week we're gonna go into OJ and Barry Sanders, and then y'all post your top 10. I
Yes,
guess you can do
sir.
all of that if you want. Any videos you want to show, comments, stats, I think I've been getting those stats from Pro Football, whatever, something. It's a famous website,
Mhm.
but it shows some good stuff. There's some good footage out there. And like I say, I think Emmett was very good. And Art, I didn't know all of the stuff you brought out. I don't know whether it was on that link or not, but I just thought he had some humongous holes when I look at the and you can't take that from him, I guess, but you run through what you got. He got through them very well, but got through them he hit the hole very quickly, but he got through. There were some huge holes, but he did make people miss. He ran through a few people when he got out there. Peyton didn't have that luxury, but he was nasty.
That was kind of good offensive line. But highlight plays is going to show. A lot of your highlights.
Of course, you're true. That's true. But that is what I remember about Emmett myself too. Is that the holes were big. He got through them pretty quickly, and sometimes he'd almost be sideways almost. But he could make guys miss. Maybe run through a few when he got out there. Walter Payton was tenacious to me though, but he did not do well in that Super Bowl. Let me see. I'm sorry, Mike. I guess we can leave.
But
I'll
they
put it
won
on
though.
the
They
chat.
won the Super Bowl
You
though,
good?
right?
They won the Super Bowl, but I would
Was he-
like to see what he did. He did not have a good game in that Super
Was
Bowl.
he at the peak? But was he? By the time the Super Bowl came down, was he on the downside of his career?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look and see. But y'all remember the Fridge got a touchdown. They were mad about that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Walter Payton didn't get that touchdown. The
Yeah.
Fridge got the
Hey,
touchdown.
Just to show y'all how the games changed. Fridge was just super size, right? You got guys all.
I wonder how
5, 6
big
guys
the
on
Fridge
team
was
bigger than
compared
him
to
now.
these
You know what I
guys.
mean?
Yeah. Say that again, man. I cut you off. Say that again.
The Fridge was a real big player. Now you got 5, 6, 7 guys on the team. You know that size now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily.
You know,
But I
that's
think
the
that's
biggest your size difference. All the players is the offensive lines now. It's like humongous. You know.
yeah. To me, that's a genius move. You put that big old guy back there. That's like a tush push with one dude. You know,
Oh yeah.
running the ball.
Y'all
you
heard
know.
speaking of tush push, they may get rid of that.
I
Possibly.
heard that.
Right.
Yeah,
I think they
mean
should
on that.
actually. I think
They
they
mean
should
on it right now.
actually. I think it's dangerous for the offensive line. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it'll-
They
it'll
got
probably
rid
be
of
like
it
got
with
hurt on it though.
they got rid of it with kicking, you know.
My problem is that they say either it messes up the game, but only 1 or 2 teams that's successful with it. And I don't know what
True.
other teams don't try it,
But
but
they got quarterbacks who are big dudes too, big strong guys.
you know, so I mean,
Yeah.
Philly and Buffalo, the 2 most
Yeah. And I'm sure they
teams, but
got
they
some
have good
technique that the
quarterbacks.
other
So
guys
I
don't
don't
have
know.
too.
You know,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody get hurt. People get hurt in football.
So
all
what
the
what is
time,
your
but,
stance
yeah.
on it? You think they should keep it or should they outlaw it?
I don't see no fair reason they should outlaw it because why? One team successful with it.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll discuss that next week. Mike,
Yeah, that's a good.
we have the
topic for
time,
discussion.
so we don't want
Yeah.
you know. My thing with the time, I hate to see people drop off when we get over time. So that's why I try to keep us on time. Mr.
Yeah,
Howard,
we'll
what you
discuss
got
that.
for us, my brother?
Man, I ain't got much. I just want to say, man, look, we still now we out of March, but the madness is still going on, baby. So let's get ready for Monday. Well, the games of this weekend, then Monday. Hey, champion will be crowned. So I say to you out there, just keep shooting, keep pressing, never give up in the game of life. This is your madness right here. Every week, every day, you get up and you make it happen because your life is like the madness of March. But every day you compete and you make it win. That's my story.
All right,
Right.
man. Appreciate
Right.
it, man.
And the
Appreciate it.
brother
All right,
is
Mike.
sticking with it.
Deuces.
All right, y'all have a good week, man.
All right.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Talk next week. Grady,
Peace.
wake
I'ma
up,
send
man.
you
I
that,
guess it
Mike.
go to sleep then.